Desmond Doss, a man who confronted the horrors of war with nothing but his faith and a relentless will to save lives. Born in the year 1919, in the humble town of Lynchburg, Virginia, Doss was a man of faith from his earliest days. Raised as a Seventh-day Adventist, his life was steeped in religious principles, teaching him the value of compassion, the sanctity of life, and the power of nonviolence. One principle in particular stood out: a vow, a promise to himself and his faith that he would never touch a gun. This conviction was not born out of fear or cowardice, but out of a deep-seated belief in the sanctity of life. It was a principle that would shape his life, define his character, and forge him into the man he would become. Little did he know these principles would be tested in the most grueling way possible. Shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Doss felt the call to serve his country. It was April 1942 when Doss, fueled by a sense of duty and patriotism, enlisted in the U.S. Army. But unlike many of his comrades, Doss refused to bear arms. His beliefs as a Seventh-day Adventist led him to make the unconventional choice to serve as a medic, a decision that was met with a torrent of criticism and ridicule. During his time in basic training, Doss faced significant hurdles. His fellow soldiers, unable to comprehend his refusal to take up arms, ostracized him. They called him names, doubted his bravery, and questioned his commitment to their shared cause. His officers tried to force him out, believing that his pacifist stance would be a liability on the battlefield. They labeled him as unfit for military service and attempted to have him discharged on the grounds of mental illness. But Doss was not deterred. He believed in the cause he was fighting for, and he was determined to serve his country in his own way. His faith was his shield, and his determination was his weapon. He stood firm in his convictions, challenging the traditional notions of what it meant to be a soldier. He wanted to save lives, not take them. And so, he persevered, proving to everyone that courage and strength come in many forms. Despite the pushback, Doss stood firm in his convictions. His resilience would soon be tested on the battlefield, where his actions would etch his name into the annals of history. In April 1945, Doss's unyielding spirit was put to the ultimate test. As the world was locked in the throes of World War II, one of the most significant battles began to unfold: the Battle of Okinawa. It was on this small island in the Pacific where Desmond Doss, serving as a combat medic, would prove his mettle and show the world what it truly means to be a hero. Doss was not armed with a rifle or a bayonet. His weapons were his faith, his courage, and his unyielding commitment to his comrades. At Okinawa, the stakes were high. The Japanese were fiercely defending their homeland, and the American forces knew that victory here was a crucial step towards ending the war. Amidst the chaos, the gunfire, and the relentless onslaught, Doss stood firm. He was there on the front lines not to take lives but to save them. Doss's actions during the battle were nothing short of heroic. He constantly put himself in danger to rescue his wounded comrades. Time and again he would venture into the battlefield, braving enemy fire to carry the injured to safety. His bravery was awe-inspiring, but what he did next was even more incredible. Amidst the carnage and chaos, Doss spotted a cliff, a sheer face of rock that offered a glimmer of hope. With no regard for his own safety, he began to lower injured men down the cliff. One by one, he hoisted them onto a rope and carefully lowered them to safety. All the while, bullets and explosions echoed around him. This was Doss's defining moment. Under relentless enemy fire, he single-handedly saved 75 men. His actions that day were a testament to his unwavering courage and selflessness. In a war defined by destruction and death, Doss was a beacon of hope and life. In the face of death, Doss chose life, not just for himself, but for 75 other men. His story reminds us of the power of courage, compassion, and conviction, even amidst the horrors of war. For his extraordinary courage, Doss was awarded the Medal of Honor. This prestigious recognition, the highest military honor in the United States, was personally bestowed upon Doss by President Harry S. Truman. The president said, "I'm proud of you. You really deserve this. I consider this a greater honor than being president." After the war, Doss lived a quiet life, unperturbed by the fame that his commendable actions had brought him. He remained humble, always deflecting praise onto his fellow soldiers. He often remarked, "I was just doing my duty. The real heroes are those who never came back." His commitment to service didn't end with the war. Despite suffering lifelong injuries, Doss dedicated his post-war years to helping others, working with the Seventh-day Adventist Church and dedicating his time to family and community. In 2016, Doss's heroism was brought to the big screen in the film Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson. The movie, while dramatized, offers a glimpse into the unbelievable bravery and unwavering faith of this unique war hero. Doss passed away in March of 2006, but his legacy lives on, reminding us of the power of conviction and courage. His story continues to inspire, teaching us that heroism comes in many forms. Desmond Doss, a man of faith, a man of service, a man of courage. His legacy reminds us that true heroism lies not in the ability to take lives, but in the determination to save them. He was a man who lived his convictions, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. As we conclude this journey through Desmond Doss's life, let's pause and reflect on the profound impact of his actions. Doss, a humble man from Lynchburg, Virginia, transformed into a beacon of courage and humanity amidst the horrors of World War II. His unwavering commitment to his principles, even under the threat of death, saved dozens of lives and inspired countless others. Fast forward to 2006, the year we bid farewell to this extraordinary man. Yet, the admiration for his heroism continues to echo across generations. His legacy, etched in the annals of history, serves as a timeless testament to the power of conviction and compassion. In an era defined by conflict and devastation, Doss's story stands out. He embodied the essence of a true hero, not by wielding weapons, but by wielding love and compassion. Desmond Doss, a true hero, not because he went to war, but because he dared to love in the midst of it.